What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we're talking fall, autumn season designer fragrances. Now these are the ones I plan on reaching for. Some of these I'm quite excited to start wearing because it is starting to cool down just a little bit. The weather is starting to trickle down. The heat is subsiding ever so slightly to where some of these are starting to make the rotation here over the next couple of weeks. So very exciting stuff for me personally. Most frag heads and or fragrance enthusiasts slash lovers really love the autumn season. It's kind of like peak fragrance season for most of us, right? So I've got 10 that I plan on rocking as far as designers are concerned that I encourage you to try as well. So stay tuned. Starting with the newest in the Invictus line, Invictus Victory Elixir. So it is somewhat of an improvement over the original. It smells similar to the original here. It's a bit more vanilla. It's a little bit sweeter, but it's also a little bit more ambery and resinous smelling. So the olibanum here is enhanced. It's enriched. It's a darker, ambery, smoky tone. Just beautiful stuff. Does it really smell all that much like Invictus? Not really. You gotta really reach to tie it to the DNA, but comparing it to its predecessor, Invictus Victory, it smells very similar to that. It does kind of smell like what you would expect the Elixir flanker of that fragrance to be. Richer, resinous, fuller, and stronger overall. It radiates just greatly off of the skin. I can't wait to start putting this one in the rotation. It is an absolutely beautiful smell. It's one of the new releases for this year at the recording of this. I encourage you to get your nose on this. I'll be putting it in the rotation. It's Invictus Victory Elixir. I actually sprayed this one on my forearm whenever I was gathering these to shoot this video. It's right here on my arm. So the note breakdown may seem a little tricky, but when you really dive into the scent, 1 Million Royal from Paco Rabanne, yes, back-to-back Paco Rabanne fragrances, is more suited for fall than a lot of the others. Like the Parfum, the original, even Elixir, yeah, of course, they work fine in the fall. Privé is the ultimate one in the line, but that's discontinued, so we're not going to feature that one here today. But the newest flanker that has been released, there's an Oud Middle Eastern exclusive that's not around right now that's been announced, but this one in particular, I get a lot more freshness. It does have this benzoin ambery resinous feel. Like I said, more of a bright freshness to it. It still has that, slight bubblegum sweetness. It's not as sweet as a lot of the other fragrances in the line, but it smells like 1 Million. I mean, they all seem to tie back to 1 Million in some form or fashion, which is the proper way to flanker. And I think this one is for those that maybe at one time in your life you liked 1 Million and just kind of grew away from it, where you don't really like super sweet fragrances like that anymore, the playful bubblegum type of smell. This might be the, I guess, reimagining of that for you, because there is a freshness. It's more ambery and resinous with a light woody tone without such a hefty dose of that sweetness, because the note breakdown won't let you know that this is a sweet fragrance, because you just have to know the line as a whole is a men's line that's very sweet. This one, like I said, the sweetness is very subdued when you compare it to other flankers in the line, which I think makes it quite a great option for the fall if you like designers or the 1 Million line as a whole. I'm definitely going to be reaching for this one. It's 1 Million Royal from Paco Rabanne. In my opinion, and I know there's a lot of people that will agree with me, if you're going to get one version of Versace Eros, it really should be Versace Eros Flame. This is incredible. It's an eau de parfum concentration. It's rich, it's bright, it's not obnoxiously loud. You still have that vanilla apple lavender combo going on from the original, with a little bit more of an orangey type of feel, some spices, a denser woody backbone to this one. There's more going on. It's smoother. It's a little bit more mature. It's not quite as playful as the other versions of Eros. Still not the most serious fragrance out there, obviously, but this is the most well-rounded, I guess you could say. Performance is top-notch. It's well above average. This is a lovely fragrance. A little too much for the high heat. That's why I haven't really been reaching for it, but now that we're going to transition into autumn, it is ideally suited for the fall season. So I'm very eager to get this back on skin to where I can start living in that sillage all over again, because, like I said before, when it comes to Eros, This is its ultimate form. Unless they come out with some amazing flanker down the line. I don't know. It's been a while since they put one out. But this stuff is incredible. Perfect for the fall season. Get your nose on this if you haven't yet. This is, in a lot of people's minds, the best version of Eros. It's Versace Eros Flame. New for 2023, this is the newest flanker in one of my just absolute loves as far as newer designer lines. Brioni has put out some great fragrances, and this is the Eau de Parfum Essential flanker. So it's a green, forest green type of hue that's gradient. You can't really see it too well in this lighting, but the color of the bottle is very much a representation of the scent profile. There's a fresh tomato leaf type of smell with some cardamom, some woods. It's a very fresh green fragrance that has a nice woody tone in its kind of in its base, but you get the woods from the start. So it's technically on the base, but you get it early, you get it often, you get it throughout. This is good stuff. I love it so much. It's very impressive. You can actually wear all four of the fragrances at the recording this. There's only four. All four in this line work in the fall season, with the Eclat fragrance being the best for the hotter weather. It's a very grapefruit forward musky fragrance. But the Eau de Parfum, the Intense, which is a bit more evening or dressy occasion. And then this, the Essential, which I think is the most Swiss Army knife of the group for this particular season. Honestly, because the Eau de Parfum seems a bit more professional, whereas, don't get me wrong, this would work great in a professional setting, but casually, this works really well. Also, it again doubles as kind of a night gig if you want. If, let's say, like my good friend Justin plays gigs at night playing music, this would be a great option for him. He hasn't gotten his nose on this at the recording of this video as of yet. So if you haven't tried anything from Brioni's Eau de Parfum line, you really should. And honestly, if you want the most well-rounded kind of Swiss Army knife of the group, you might want to check out Essential, because it is that good. If you like green fragrances, it's a great one. A very polarizing line from Hermes is the H24 line. Now, at the recording of this, there's only 2 fragrances out in the line, with more to come, I'm sure. Knowing Hermes and the way they treated the Terre d'Hermes line, I'm eager to wear H24 Eau de Parfum. So the reason for the Eau de Parfum specifically, because I do think you can wear this year-round. It's not the most ideal for warmer spring and definitely hot summer weather. It's not ideal. You can definitely pull it off. But when we're talking autumn season, transitioning into winter, transitioning into spring, that time frame, this is gorgeous because it's got a lot more oak moss going on, more earthy and green to go with that bright metallic feel, a little bit of florals, a musky, woodsy tone. It has this citrus peel feel to it that the Eau de Toilette even has, but they don't show any notes in the note breakdown to lead you to believe that it's in there. But when you smell it, it's got this citrus peel metallic smell that it's known for. It's a synthetic fragrance. It's an oddball fragrance. Like I said, very polarizing scent profile. But those that enjoy it, love it. Like me. Those that can't stand it, just can't stand it, and it's not for them. Like I said, very polarizing line, but if you want something more unique from the designer realm, Hermes has got you covered. I like how they're stepping outside the box with this. I think the sky is the limit with where they can go with this DNA, and so far so good. They made a true Eau de Parfum flanker to their original Eau de Toilette, and for the fall season, it doesn't get much better. And also, I know somebody's going to ask, performance is well above average without being obnoxiously beastly. Next is one of the best blue fragrances on the market. Yeah, I said it, and yeah, I stand behind it. It is Ralph Lauren's Polo Blue Parfum. I think this is the best version of Polo Blue. I haven't been wearing it in the summer because I think it's a little bit too much. There's way better options in the line for high heat. Literally all the rest of them are a better choice besides Gold Blend. This and Gold Blend, I think, are better for the slightly cooler months on into the cold, and that's why I'm looking to wear this in the fall. It's the most professional take on the scent profile. It's warm, smoky, woodsy, has a little bit of a resinous feel while still being aquatic green, and has that all-time great watery cucumber smell that the original Polo Blue Eau de Toilette's known for, which I don't even remember if it's in the notes, may not be, but the DNA is there. You will smell it when you smell this fragrance. It lasts a pretty long while without being overwhelmingly strong with its projection and sillage. It's just right. For those that don't want too much of an in-your-face fragrance, but something that has a subtle reminder, leaves room for discovery with the way it performs and stays on the skin for a long time, that's what I think it's perfectly suited for this scent profile. You see how excited I get to talk about this fragrance. I'm sure my demeanor changed from the last couple because I'm a blue fragrance kind of guy, and this is just so well composed. Mwah, magnifique. If you haven't gotten your nose on this one, please do me a favor and try Polo Blue Parfum. You'll see a theme with these higher oil concentration fragrances. I like warm, rich, resinous, robust, thick aromas in the autumn season, and that is what Azzaro Chrome Parfum is when you compare it to the rest of the line. This has a fir balsam resin that makes it a very sticky green, earthy, woodsy type of feel with a little bit of that metallic citrus shower gel type of smell that the original is known for. At first, I wasn't too sure about this one. It was like, it's nice, but it's kind of outside the box for the DNA, and I was looking to tie it to it. Faint similarity to Chrome, but as it dries, as you go through your day wearing this one, it's magnificent. If you like, the color's wrong. This is a very green fragrance, but it's a very earthy, resinous, like I said, sticky green. This fir balsam note is the star of the show. Not all that fresh. There's a little bit of freshness at the top, but it's smooth. It's not as screechy, scratchy, and metallic as most of the others in the line. You won't get that heavy synthetic feel. Like, think of Chrome Extreme. Think of the original Chrome. They all have that very synthetic top that kind of is a turnoff for some, though I absolutely love the DNA, and I mean, the two I just named are incredible to me. But if you want something a little smoother, a little bit more grown up, let's say you used to wear Chrome in high school, many years have passed and it's not your thing anymore, you like the more matured smells, if you will, well, look at this as the more mature take on Azzaro Chrome. I can't wait to start spraying this one again. Azzaro Chrome Parfum. One of the absolute best designer fragrances released in 2023, and it was released at the beginning of the year. If you haven't gotten your nose on this one yet and you trust my opinion or have a similar taste to mine, you're missing out. You really should. If you like the Boss the Scent line, this is absolutely a must-try. This is the newest release of Boss the Scent Magnetic. It has this brand absolute note that gives kind of this dry, almost wheat-like smell to it. And the Manenka fruit here that is the signature of this DNA comes across a little sweet and boozy this time around with that warm, ambery, and woodsy smell that's kind of ran across the entire line. This vetiver note that they like to use. Think Boss the Scent Absolute, for example. If you were to add this dry, almost like wood meets wheat. Think actual grains, like whole wheat grains. The smell of that. Add that with that boozy and sweet Manenka that was in the Absolute. Like that's basically what it is. Take the Absolute and add that accord, that dry whole grain smell to the Absolute, and you get Magnetic. I think it is the best in the line, which as they've come out, that it's become the best in the line. Excluding Pure Accord. I haven't tried that. I've heard mixed things. Some people can't stand it. It was a miss, yada, yada, yada. But as far as Private Accord and Absolute, those were incredible, and there's an argument for those being the best in the line still with this coming out. And that was my conundrum. I couldn't decide which one was the better of the two. But with this, it's clear-cut for me. In my opinion, this is the best until further notice. Please get your nose on this one for this fall. It is going to be a banger for the season, if you will. Performance, well above average without being obnoxious, just like I like it. Boss the Scent Magnetic. Now with these last two, it's my favorite release of the year as far as designers, and quintessential fall for TLTG's reviews rotation for fall. So, Spicebomb Infrared Eau de Parfum. Some of you knew as soon as I said that this is what I'm talking about. This is my favorite designer released in 2023. Obviously, there's still a few months left, but I just don't see it being topped. I think this is the superior take on the DNA. You don't realize how playful and sweet the Eau de Toilette is until you smell this one. This is leather accord. This is smoky. This is resinous. This doesn't have a load of sweetness. While still being aromatic, it's kind of, I guess, like the grown-up take, if you will, on Infrared Eau de Toilette. Like I said, you don't realize how playful and youthful Infrared Eau de Toilette is until you smell this one. Because there, again, I go back to just like with the Boss Scent fragrances. When it came to Spicebomb Night Vision Eau de Parfum and the Eau de Toilette version of Infrared, I couldn't decide which was the better for me. Some people say the Extreme, I get it. There's an argument for the whole line. Honestly, the best one they ever made, the mic's right here, the best one they ever made was Fresh. They should have never discontinued it. But irrelevant in this situation. But for what's available now on the market, I was back and forth between those two. Then this came out and became the clear-cut favorite for me. There's no question at this point for me. I encourage you, get out to Sephora, get out to Ulta, Macy's, Dillard's, wherever they sell Spicebomb fragrances from Viktor and Rolf, and try this for yourself. Get this on your skin. This is incredible. We're actually going to do a little spritz over here. I immediately get that intense peppery spice. I love it. Red peppers, black pepper. It's just everything you would expect with something named after the Spicebomb line. It has that core DNA, just matured. It doesn't smell old, man. When I say matured, I kind of mean classy and grown up. There's no youthful, playful sweetness to this one. There's a light sweetness in the backdrop, just to kind of smooth things out and go with the blend, but fiery hot, peppery spiced, leathery, very smoky, and sticky resinous. It's got this balsamic feel to it, very ambery, warm, cozy. This is going to be great in the winter as well. My favorite designer release of the year. We are now pulling into the season to start pulling this one out. Spicebomb Infrared Eau de Parfum. Last but not least, like I said, when it comes to my fall rotation, this is quintessential because I don't wear this in the summer. I refuse to wear this in the summer. It's so powerful, sweet and cloying, that I just can't stand this fragrance in the summer. At the recording of this, I'm wearing its Eau Fraiche flanker. It's on my neck right now. We're talking about YSL Eau de Parfum. I'm wearing Eau Fraiche right now as I record this. It was my scent of the day today. Get this to focus. This is a monster. This is still a lot of people's favorite. Now, I know some people really like that Eau de Parfum Intense that came out. Honestly, I think it's kind of generic when you compare it to this. It's very woody aromatic. It's still a really nice fragrance. I still think this is better. The apple's very sweet here. You still have that sage, that fresh spicy feel to it, the musky ambergris tone. You lose the aldehydes. You don't have the same level of freshness that the Eau de Toilette has, or even that the Le Parfum manages to have. I didn't put the Le Parfum here because, I just wear that one randomly throughout the year. It's not kind of exclusively to fall like everything else in this video is. These I exclusively plan on wearing or have worn in the past, like this, in this particular season. There's fans of this one. Compliment monster. Of course it smells synthetic. It's an all-time Mount Rushmore blue fragrance. Honestly, if you're sitting there naming off the 4 best blue fragrances of all time, I would say 7 out of every 10 people at minimum are going to say this is one of the 4. If I was to really think about it, I don't know. Maybe we'll do that video. Comment down below if you want to see a Mount Rushmore topic for blue fragrances or anything else. Maybe we could do it for fall. I don't know. Side note, I guess we could say. But I'm eager to put this one back in the rotation. I haven't sprayed it in a little while. Just smelling it through the atomizer. Whew, man, it is crazy, crazy strong. If you like power, you like mass appealing, crowd pleasing type of scents, kind of Swiss Army knife blue fragrance, that's really what it is. Really pulls in some compliments for most people. You're going to want to check this one out. It's a standard in my fall rotation. Yves Saint Laurent Y Eau de Parfum. Well, that's the 10. Is that the only 10? No, but that's the main 10. As far as designers, these are what I'm eager to get in the rotation, get sprayed on skin, and start living in that sillage and enjoying the olfactive experience that comes with wearing these 10 fragrances. And until next time, do me a real quick favor, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, because I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. What of these have you tried? There's a lot of new releases in here. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new releases for 2023 in this particular list of 10. I'll try to have links to everything that I can down below for those of you that are interested in checking them out, but I encourage you, get out and sample them. They're designers. They're going to be at your department stores. Go get these on your skin or buy a small sample online, try it for yourself, and then come back. Click one of the links because the affiliate commission does help support the channel so I can buy more fragrances to bring you content like this, and then on top of that, you'll get it for a better price than going to Macy's. save yourself the money. There's ways to shop online, people. And until next time, I will say if you get your hands on any of the 10 that I'm excited to wear this fall, as far as designers, you give them a spray now, pretty confident you'll thank me later. Have a good one, guys.